5:58, tracking winter weather. That's what Heartland News does best. We're live here outside where you can see the winds are kicking and it is blowing this snow around. Laura, of course, watching Storm Team Digital Doppler, and we're updating you next.
Now, in high definition, live, local, late breaking, this is The Breakfast Show on KFBS 12.
Good morning, everyone. On this Thursday, January 12th, we begin our 6 o'clock hour with late-breaking news out of Ware, Illinois. That's where a house burned overnight. We're
also, of course, watching winter weather. But first, Tyler Profile on scene. And Tyler, this story isn't just about the fire.
Not just about the fire, Lauren. This is something that actually is the culmination of about 3 weeks or so of this family that used to live in this home dealing with some rather unfortunate circumstances. They say some people that they have not been able to identify actually have been throwing rocks at their home, and were throwing rocks at their home around 10 o'clock last night. As you can see here, they were outside looking at the damage. They smelled smoke, and they say the next thing you know, this is what happened. Now take a look at some of this video sent to us through C News. You can see this house went up in flames pretty quickly. As I was saying, the Union County Sheriff's Department says this started around 10 o'clock last night when the department received a call about people throwing rocks at this home. Now, when the deputy arrived, his patrol car was even hit by rocks. So police felt like everything was under control. The deputy left. He returned a short time later, and then at 1:30, this house was fully engulfed in flames. Now, take a look at this video that we shot back on Christmas Eve. This is when a lot of these reports from people throwing rocks in the town of Ware actually started. The family that lived at this home say there were rocks being thrown at their vehicles, at their house, breaking out windows. They actually had to put a tarp up on the back side of the house to keep the wind and the cold temperatures from coming in. They say it has been investigated a couple of different times. They say they've had the sheriff's department down here as well as state police, but they have not been able to identify who's been throwing these rocks. The family that lives here says they believe the fire was set intentionally, but the fire marshal will be coming out later this morning to officially investigate. Jim and Lauren.
More to come. 6:02 though, another big story we're of course tracking this morning for you is the snow, and we do have school closings listed and rolling at the bottom of your screen on our ticker.
Of course, Laura's in the Storm Team Center this morning where she's keeping close watch on the radar for us.
A lot of folks on Facebook now reporting that the ground is covered in snowfall. A lot of them saying the roads are just wet, but for the most part clear. That can change though if you haven't seen that major snow band push through yet. And I say major kind of in quotations because this is the big event of the day, but we're not talking about huge snow accumulations. In fact, most of us only picking up at best an inch or two. Let's go ahead and zoom into the area that is seeing the heaviest snow band right now. Notice those bright whites through Patton, Marble Hill. Get ready for at least another 10 to 15 minutes of snowfall. That heavier band just west of the Jackson and Cape Girardeau area, west side of Jackson, likely seeing those big snowflakes at this point. Kind of the same story as we head south into Chaffee and Benton, entire Scott County under that snowfall. Along with the snowfall, we are noticing temperatures dropping quickly. That will be the scenario all through your day. 31 degrees on average at 9 o'clock, but by lunchtime and through the afternoon and evening hours, we will be in the 20s. And then let's go ahead and add the winds on top of that. It's going to feel like the teens, and temperatures continuing to drop overnight, where we will factor in the wind, and it will feel more like the single digits by early tomorrow morning. So those roadways will be wet. We could have some icing issues by tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that detail in your extended outlook coming up.
And of course, we are continuing to monitor the snow both on air, online. We remind you, we are your headquarters for winter weather coverage. You can find those school closings again rolling at the bottom of your screen and at KFBS12.com. You can also download our weather app for your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android phone. That app includes an interactive radar and an hour-by-hour forecast. You can also download our news app so you can check for any possible school closings. And the Storm Team is also on Twitter and Facebook, as are Laura and myself. We're chatting with many of you this morning, getting those updates. So be sure to sign up for all of our weather-related text alerts. Also, just go to KFBS12.com to sign up, also our Facebook page, and you can like us and join in on the conversation. Meantime, we also want you to join in on this. The KFBS 12 Heartland Blood Drive officially kicks off today. And here at the TV station, employees and their families got an early start by giving blood yesterday, as you see here in this video. As for you, well, you can give blood at 7 locations locations throughout the heartland starting this afternoon at 2. And here's a look at the locations that you can donate at. The list is also at KFES12.com. Walk-ins are certainly welcome and encouraged, but the Red Cross does suggest making an appointment if you can. That way you can speed up and get through the line a little bit faster. Also coming up a little bit later here in our breakfast show, we're going to introduce you to a West Frankfort little boy who is benefiting from these donations.
Republican presidential candidates are zeroing in on South Carolina ahead of that state's primary. Mitt Romney leads the GOP pack, but he admits winning the state won't be easy. Inez Ferre is providing our campaign coverage this morning.
An honor to be with you tonight.
Mitt Romney is trying to tap into voter frustration to win over South Carolina.
It's been a tough 3 years for people in the Palmetto State. Unemployment at 9.9%. Still.
At a rally last night, he repeatedly blamed President Obama for the nation's economic troubles.
And we're going through tough times in part because of the failure of one man. That's why he's got to go.
There is one conservative in the race who has the potential to defeat Governor Romney.
For weeks, Newt Gingrich has been trying to stop Romney's momentum, attacking his business background. But on Wednesday, a Gingrich supporter pleaded with him to change his strategy.
I want to beg you to redirect and go after his obvious disingenuousness about his conservatism and lay off the corporatist versus the free market. I think it's nuanced. I would like you to go after
I agree with you. Obama just makes it impossible to talk rationally in that area because he is so deeply into class warfare.
Even other GOP contenders are calling on Gingrich to switch gears and focus on Romney's record as Massachusetts governor instead.
I'm not going to engage in hypercharged political rhetoric. That's not who I am.
Rick Santorum didn't mention Gingrich by name, but called for an end to the hostile rhetoric.
I mean, it's bad enough for Barack Obama to blame folks in business for causing problems in this country. It's one other thing for Republicans to join in on that.
Santorum and the other GOP candidates are going after Romney's weak spot in South Carolina, pushing for the social conservative vote. Inez Ferre, CBS News, Washington.
Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam is now endorsing Mitt Romney. Romney supported Haslam in the 2010 governor's race, and Haslam's father and brother had already assumed leadership positions in Romney's Tennessee operations. Haslam issued a statement citing Romney's experience as Massachusetts governor as well as in the private sector. He called Romney someone who can tackle tough issues. Meanwhile, President Obama is in full re-election mode.
The president returned to his hometown of Chicago, where he attended 3 pricey fundraisers. His first stop was at UIC. The crowd there wasn't huge, but organizers said they sold 800 tickets. The reception seemed to inspire the man they'd helped make history 4 years ago. His second stop was a $1 million dinner in the city's north side. Among those paying $35,000 a couple was Governor Pat Quinn.
In my campaign, it cost $23 million in Illinois. It's hard to believe. Think about running nationwide for president. It's going to cost hundreds of millions.
Or even $1 billion. And that's why the president reportedly came back to his hometown last night. And it looks like the president walked away with somewhere between $1 and $2 million at those events, reportedly. Caught on tape this morning, the violence in Syria claims the life of a reporter. We want to warn you, this video may be too graphic for some audiences. The French journalist was working for France 2 Network, reporting on a rally when that person came under attack. A witness says a civilian also died in the attack, possibly from mortar fire. France is now calling for an inquiry into the reporter's death. At least 24 people were killed in Syria on Wednesday alone.
Japan is the latest country to reduce oil imports from Iran, a move to support U.S. sanctions against Tehran over its nuclear program. Japan's finance minister made the announcement after a one-hour meeting with visiting U.S. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner. Japan imports about 10% of its oil from Iran. All right, time now is 9 minutes past the hour, and taking a look at live storm team radar. Some parts of the heartland are already seeing white this morning. Laura's keeping a close eye on the weather, and we'll have more about the snow next. And folks to our far north are also dealing with snow, a lot of snow. But could relief be on the way for those buried in Alaska?
You're watching KFES 12, now in high definition. Live, local, late breaking with Jim Burns, Lauren Keith, and Brian Alworth. This is The Breakfast Show.